So I'm still fighting, and now he complains again. I went inside to go in with a knee, and he complains again that I headbutted him.
Oh, no.
The referee stops, and he gives me a point off. And then finally they said, okay, we will support you. We're gonna be okay with it, and that was it.
And then after that, they went to your fights, to see your fights? Or
My mother never, no.
Okay.
But my father, yeah, he went to the fights that were here in New Jersey and in this area. Yeah, sometimes at the end of the seminars I talk to them about fear and anxiety and pressure and doubt and things like that, and those are all seen as
Welcome to Rouge Mindset. Today I am really happy and excited to be sitting down with a Muay Thai legend, 3 times a world champion. He has many more achievements and titles, and he has fought in the most important stadiums in Thailand and around the world. So I am really happy and honored to be here with Ognjen Topić.
Ognjen Topić, yes.
Ognjen Topić.
Yeah.
It's difficult to pronounce.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for being here and for your time. I really appreciate.
No problem.
So speaking about your name, I mean Ognjen. Ognjen, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I was searching up about the meaning, and it means comes from Ogan. Is this correct? Ogan, that means fire.
Fire, yeah.
Exactly. So I said no because sometimes names have a meaning.
Yeah.
So is there a reason why your parents decided to give you this name?
No, my mother kept searching for names, and she didn't like any of the names. My father kept coming to the hospital. You know, every single day would come up with a new name. My mom didn't like it. And then finally on the last day before she had to leave the hospital, he says, I got one last name. It's gonna be Ognjen. Take it or leave it. If you don't like it, you name him a rock if you want.
Okay.
And she said, okay, we'll name him Ognjen, and that was it.
Okay.
But then their friend told them that this name was perfect for me once I started getting on personality, and they realized that I was like a fire, you know? There was always...
I think you have just said it, no? You are like your personality and the style that you fight. I don't know, it has something to do with your name. How do you think about that?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with my name, but it's just, it's perfect, it's fitting.
Yeah, like explosive and just dominant in the ring, right? Yeah. I like the meaning. Do you have any siblings? Or
yeah, I have a sister, older sister.
Okay, and everybody's here in New Jersey then?
Yeah, and she used to beat me up until I got bigger.
How old she is?
She's 3 years older.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's 42.
Okay.
Yeah, 42.
You are 39 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, but it's nice. I mean, to have a sibling is good because you always fight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to know what is Topić fight? Topić fight, sorry.
So Topić fight was just a name that I came up with for Instagram. So it was in 2015. I had to really start thinking about how to market myself, because this was no longer just a hobby. Now it's becoming a career, so I knew I had to make money off of it. So I asked myself, okay, I don't want to use my first name because it's so difficult to type out. Nobody's gonna know how to spell it. And I needed something that was quick, easy, memorable, and easy to type out. So of course I'm gonna use my last name because that's a very easy thing to use in English because of the name Topić. So I said, okay, what do I do? Before I choose any style, I'm a fighter. So then I decided to use my last name and combine it with the word fight because the topic is fighting. So Topić fight. That was my idea behind that name.
I thought it was Topić fight because of, I mean, it has to do with your last name, but it's Topić in this.
But it's mainly to just make it easier for, you know, the English-speaking audience to remember it easy. So.
Okay, I like the name. So what does fighters can learn about Topić fight? What does fighters can learn from that, from your...
Well, the main thing that I talk about is just a smarter way of fighting, you know, and being focused when you fight, because I started this sport very late, and so I was already 10 years behind all the fighters that I wanted to fight against and be like in Thailand. And so I didn't have a lot of time to just, you know, go through the motions of just day-to-day work. I had to really think about what I needed to do. So I was just very focused, and I was trying to be as smart as possible so I don't take a lot of damage, of course, in the fight.
Yeah.
And so that's my main thing. So then that stems into utilizing feints, fakes, and then timing. So you're not just going in there like two bulls and, you know, fighting each other, when you can have a much smarter way of facing your opponent.
Okay, that's really interesting. We will talk more in detail with that, but fakes and feints are really important then? Or
Yeah,
what do
absolutely.
you think is like, I mean, in your strategy as a fighter, yes? That has to do with the IQ of a fighter?
Yeah.
Like include that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think this sport it's not that difficult to learn. Anybody with maybe 6 months to a year can be pretty good with sparring, you know, and just know the basic techniques. So it's not that difficult to learn, because we have, you know, 2 kicks. We have the teep and the round kicks, a couple of punches, 2 of the main elbows, vertical, horizontal, 2 knees. That's it. You don't really need too much to learn how to fight. But now you have to learn how to figure out how to get in there into your opponent and break through your opponent's defense and score a point. So at a higher level, because this sport is so simple, you have to figure out another way how to go around. And one of the ways is feints, fakes, and, you know, utilizing the timing.
Yeah, but it has to be really focused and learn it, like see your opponent in a quick seconds, right?
Yeah.
Once the fight is started, it's like, boom.
Yeah, absolutely. And that comes with experience as well.
Okay.
Sharpening the vision.
Okay. Wow, amazing. But I want to know how this fight, a topic fight, was born, because in your beginnings, you know about you were born in Bosnia, and then you had to leave, right?
Yeah.
To Serbia, right? Because of the war.
Yes.
You were 6 years old at that time.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Do you
Yeah.
remember anything, and how did that situation impacted you?
At that time, I do remember some stuff. You know, I remember being on the bus going to Serbia and getting stopped at the checkpoints, and then people with, you know, their uniforms coming and checking everybody's ID so they can see what side you're from, you know, and they can see that by the names. So I do remember that. And, you know, me having that name, Fire, I remember when they were showing the tanks on TV, I said, yes, there's going to be a war. I don't know why I said that as a kid, but my uncle remembers me saying that because, you know, I was just full of energy always, and I liked the action.
Yeah.
So maybe that was why I said that.
Okay. And emotionally, sorry.
I didn't realize you know, how serious that is at that age.
Yeah, I think, and also, I mean, your parents didn't want it to worry you and your sister, no? The rest of the
course.
family. But did you feel any fear at any point?
No.
No.
No, never any fear. No, my parents felt fear. Well, my mother did mainly, but me, I just didn't understand the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you moved to Serbia, and then how long did you stay there? Because your father later moved to the U.S.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, so we lived in Serbia for about 3 years, and then my father was here working, and he was playing the immigration lottery, because at that time there was no opportunity to work in Serbia at that time. And you know, the inflation was so bad that if you were to get $1 maybe in the morning, by the night time it's worth 50 cents. So the inflation was extreme at that time. Yeah, it was at the highest level in the world at that time.
Okay. And then how long? I mean, he worked here for 3 years, and after 3 years you joined?
Well, he was coming here back and forth.
Back and
yeah,
forth.
throughout a couple of years. But yeah, for that main time, I think the most he stayed here was about like 2 years. And then he would come back for a little bit, and then he would come back again.
Okay.
And then he was playing the immigration lottery, and we won the lottery, and then we came here in 1995.
1995, okay. And why New Jersey? Is there a reason, New Jersey?
Because his brother was already here.
Okay.
Yeah, and he already had a construction company, so he was working for his brother.
Excellent.
Otherwise, we would have probably went to California or Florida, Texas, somewhere nice and warm.
Yeah, the weather here is really
exactly.
bad. Okay, so and then the beginnings of the martial arts. I understand that you wanted to do boxing, but your parents were not like
yeah, I fell in love
that,
with I fell in love with boxing. I was watching a lot of that on ESPN. But my father didn't allow me to do that. So then I said, okay, let me do Taekwondo or karate because there's no hits to the head. So he said, okay. So I did that for 4 years, from 14 until 18. But, it wasn't realistic to me.
Okay.
And then I finally saw Muay Thai at 18 and I fell in love with that. And I started training that. And then I told my father that I did it and he got mad. And then he didn't let me do it. And then I told him that I'm not gonna fight, I'm just gonna train. Then he said, okay, I'll let you train, but you can't fight. And then of course, my whole objective was to fight because when I saw that for the first time, I fell in love with that. Then I started fighting. And then later on, after about maybe like 2 years of me fighting as an amateur fighter, he found out, so I think I had like 10 fights. And then he found out that my cousin from England, he saw one of my fights on YouTube. And he told my father. My father stopped talking to me for 4 months. Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, we kind of just started talking again. But we never talked about fighting again because, I'm sure they knew that I was still fighting, but we just never brought it up.
Okay.
So then I had another 2 years of amateur career left after that. And then finally I turned professional. And I just couldn't handle the lying anymore because I was always had to hide the fighting from them.
It's stressful, right?
Right. And then now I'm thinking, okay, elbows are illegal in New Jersey. If I get cut, what am I supposed to tell my parents? So I needed them to know what I was doing. So I gave them an ultimatum. And I told them that they're either going to be okay with what I do or this is the last day that they're ever going to see me. And then finally they said, okay, we will support you. We're going to be okay with it. And that was it.
And then after that, they went to your fights, to see your fights? Or
my mother never, no. Okay. But my father, he went to the fights that were here in New Jersey and in this area.
As mothers, I understand. I mean, she should be so nervous.
I understand them fully because I don't think I would want to see my kids fighting either. I know what this sport entails and how difficult it is. I wouldn't want my kids fighting at all. Okay. I don't even like when I see the kids fighting in Thailand and, but so I understand. But of course, I'm my own person. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live my life. And that was it.
Because in Thailand, they start at 8 years old, 7 years old,
7, 6,
right?
Yeah.
That's why you said that you were like 10 years later than them.
Yeah, exactly, because I started at 18. Yeah.
Okay. But then in Taekwondo, you were like a black belt, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have like the ability totally for martial arts. That's your...
Yeah, I was athletic. Okay. Yeah, I think any sport that I would choose, I think I would have been good. Because my father was a professional soccer player as well.
Oh,
in Bosnia, so back in the 70s. So, I think athletically, I would have been good in soccer. I would have been good in basketball if I just, kept going at those sports.
Consistent. And then I want to know, how did you were able to manage training and Muay Thai? Because you went to college and you studied design, right? Like, graphic design.
Yeah, that was by far the most difficult time that I had to...
You were like, you started... Because you finished your Muay Thai training and then... Okay, no, sorry.
Yeah. So that was just a difficult time. I remember getting out of class and then now I have to go to work and then from work I have to go to the gym. And I'm just thinking that it's gonna pass. A couple more years, you just keep pushing, finish this, and you're gonna get to your goals. And I just remember always telling myself that. So, I never thought about that I wasn't able to do all this stuff. It was almost like I was stupid, Mm-hmm. I didn't have like a way of thinking clearly. It was just keep going. You go to school, you do this, you go to work, you do that, then you go to train. You wake up and you do the same thing the next day. I never questioned myself like, when is this shit gonna end? I'm just gonna quit school, It was never like that. It was just keep going.
And what did you say to yourself, like to keep going?
Yeah, I just knew that the time was gonna come for me soon, I have maybe 3 years left of college or 2 years or 1 year. And that just kept giving me, the motivation to continue, finish it up. One day I'm gonna make money. You're not gonna be working for $100, for every week. It was a tough time, really was. But I just kept the goals in sight that I had in my mind, the vision that I had, and what I wanted to achieve, and that was it. Nothing was gonna stop me.
And then you had like your full-time job after that.
Yeah, then I finished college, and then I got my full-time job. So I got a good career job for graphic design, and I'm still fighting at this point. And now, yeah, so I was still amateur, and then now I'm turning professional while I'm still working at the job. And then now I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting like a name for myself. Everybody knows me in America already. Now I'm turning pro, and now I have to fight against guys who have, you know, a lot more experience than me. So I have to make a decision now. You know, I have to just quit my job. So that was again scary as well. That happened in 2013, at the end of 2013.
Okay.
So I went to Thailand, and the first night I get to Thailand, and I have like a month to be there.
Okay.
I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm gonna miss this place. And I just got there, you know, that first night, because I love this.
It was Bangkok?
Yeah, because I love this so much, the sport.
Yeah.
And then, so I go back home, and that was like December of 2013. And then I told my bosses, and they were very supportive as well. They, you know, we were like almost like friends, you know. And they were, you know, they were supportive. And I told them I have to do this. I got to go chase what I love, and I got to take this chance. And so 2014, it was like January or something like that. That was when I made that decision. I quit the job. Then in a couple of months, I booked a flight, went to Thailand for 7 months. Then I stayed there and just kept trying to get as much experience as I can.
So you always knew that you needed to go to Thailand, like to improve your
yeah. I just had to. Yeah, that was always in the back of my mind. It was just I had to figure out my finances as well.
Okay.
Because you know, I'm not gonna have any help from anybody, so I have to do it all myself. So you know, I had to make sure I save money. And I had enough money to not only survive in Thailand, but to be able to, when I come back, I had to have money that I can survive off of as well. And then that's when I started doing my seminars and personal training and stuff like that.
I see, okay. Oh, wow, amazing, yes.
Yeah.
And then how did you choose the gym, like in Thailand? Which one?
Yeah.
Or how was your decision to?
Yeah, the first one was Eminent Air, and that was one of the best gyms at that time.
Okay.
It was rated #1 gym in Thailand at that time by Channel 7 Stadium, and so they had like, you know, Channel 7 Stadium champions, Lumpini, Rajlaman Stadium champions, Omnoy. So I knew I had to go there.
Okay.
Then later on, when I came back in 2018, when I started training at PK, that's when, you know, Eminent Air, you know, these gyms in Thailand, they go through periods, you know. Sometimes they're like, have a lot of good fighters, because it depends on the boss. If the boss wants to continue running the gym, he'll buy off a lot of these fighters. Then maybe a couple of years go by, they start retiring, or he starts selling off the fighters. Now the gym is at a low point. Now it's not doing well. Now it's mainly maybe for foreigners, you know, or they just close the gym down. So now at this point, the gym is mainly for foreigners, you know. There's not too many high-level fighters over there. So I knew I had to find another gym, and PK had the most amount of elite-level fighters under one roof, so I chose to go over there.
Oh, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we will talk about a bit more about that. So you stayed 7 months there, right? It was the first time. Okay, perfect.
Yep. No, that was my third time.
Third time.
No, fourth time. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the
you
first 3 times, it was only a month because of work. I wasn't able to take off.
And then 7 months.
Then after that third time, the fourth time was 7 months, and then that's when I, you know, that's when I turned it into a career, and then that was my job.
You were 27 years old at that time.
Yeah, I was about 27. Yeah, 26, 27, something like that. Yeah. No, I was younger when I became pro.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was in 2011.
Okay.
So I'm 39 now, so you do the math.
Yeah, I mean, maybe 25, no? 25?
Something 25? Like that, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you had your goals like really planned, right?
Yeah,
so you were doing everything. What will be taking me?
Everything was for Muay Thai. That's it. Nothing was gonna come in my way, you know?
Okay.
It was like I had to ask Muay Thai for permission to do anything. Okay. You know, if I had like, you know, girlfriend that was giving me issues, or she wanted more time or hang out, she had to go.
Yeah.
Same thing with friends.
How to balance that? It's difficult.
It's very, very difficult. Yeah. That's why as a fighter, during that time, you just have to dedicate yourself fully to that, and you cannot have any distractions. You cannot bring your girlfriend to Thailand. I mean, she has to be extremely supportive, and she has to understand how obsessed you are about your goals, you know, to be able to go over there and live with you and not give you issues or, you know, not take energy away from you. You know, you just have to be very dedicated and focused.
Yeah, wow, amazing story. So then, sorry, because I wanted to talk about the debut in Muay Thai. You were 21.
Yeah.
So we just go a bit back. So it was in New York, the first time you fought, like your debut in Muay Thai, or no?
Debut?
In Muay Thai, was in New York?
For amateur, yeah.
Yes?
For amateur, it was,
for amateur.
Yeah. Yep.
So because I always want to know how was for you the first experience, like fighting already in Muay Thai. How was that experience?
Oh, I was so happy. I mean, it was like the happiest time of my life. I didn't feel any fear or anything. I was just excited, you know. And that's like what I recommend fighters, to turn that fear into excitement. You know, just be happy to go in there and to showcase to all the people that are watching you your skill. You know, and that was something that I strive to do. Okay. So that's what made me fight at a very high level as an amateur, you know.
Because you are so young at that age, how you managed to do that? Because it's difficult. You're 21.
Yeah.
Still, sometimes when we are older, still we cannot manage that, anxiety or nervousness. So how do you breathe? What do you do before a fight?
No, it's nothing like that. I mean, yeah, you can take some deep breaths to maybe like calm you down, but I think everything starts here, you know? It doesn't matter how many calm, deep breaths you take. If you have anxiety, you're thinking about the worst case scenario, which is what your mind is always gonna do. It's always telling you the worst case scenario, because that's what keeps us safe, you know? So you have to just try to overwrite that by telling yourself, you know, I did everything that I can in the gym. I can't wait to go out there and just perform and do everything that I did in the gym and try to pull out all these tricks that I worked on, you know. Or even if you're not that type of fighter that does like to do tricks or fakes, you're just going out there to show a clean, nice style, you know, something that's gonna excite the audience, but not only excite them, it's gonna prove to yourself that you can do that as well. So it's just a different way of thinking.
That's right.
You know, instead of just focusing on the negative aspects, you just change it up and you turn it into a positive experience.
You already did all the job at the gym, right?
Exactly,
Like training every day and consistently every day.
Yep.
How many hours do you train, or you use, every day?
Yeah, it used to be very, very long. It was probably like 4 or 5 hours a day when I was training twice a day, you know?
Okay.
But when I was working at the job as a graphic designer, I would be working from 9 to 5, and then 5 to 9, I would be at the gym. So as soon as 5 o'clock hit, I would drive to the gym, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, get to the gym, and then just work from there, because I would have to fit 2 of those sessions into 1 session. So I would have to do clinching, sparring. Oh my God, it was so tiring. Just thinking about it gives me anxiety, you know?
You were able to sleep like how many hours? 6 at least?
Yeah, probably something like that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't getting too much sleep either.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, the mindset is really important, like to keep going, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, as long as you want something really bad, then
that's right.
The way just clears itself.
I agree. So of course you have so many titles. I cannot list them all, but of course you are a 3-time world champion in Muay Thai, WBC North American Super Featherweight, WKA North American Lightweight Champion, and many more. Also the Lion Fight Championship.
Yeah.
So of course these are here. Well, which one of these titles meant the most for you, and why?
There's 2 answers for that. Of course, the Muay title.
Okay,
meant
that is
the most.
super important. Yeah, I will talk about that later.
But outside of that, I think the titles that meant the most to me were the ones where I had something difficult to overcome. So the one that I had in Mexico, and then in Ireland as well. Those were very difficult fights to have, because the fight in Ireland, I was sick. I don't know what I had, but I was going through some weird stuff with my body.
Okay.
So I wasn't feeling the best. And then the fight in Mexico, there was just so many things that went wrong in that fight, you know?
What happened?
So it was like in the third round, the guy ended up, first he kept complaining that I was headbutting him the whole time. Maybe started in like the second round. So he keeps complaining and the referee's just, you know, not saying anything. He's just telling me, okay, don't headbutt him, but I'm not headbutting him, you know? That's not the way I would win a fight. I want to win a fight in a way that's honest to me, where I can sleep later that night and say, okay, I won this fight fairly and there's nothing that anybody can take away from me. So I would never want to win a fight in a way that I'm cheating. So then in the third round, he hits me with a really hard shot and it breaks my orbital bone. And so I only have one good eye. I can only see clearly from this side. This eye I have astigmatism and lazy eye. So everything is blurry and the depth perception is completely off. So what seems like far away is close. So I cannot rely on this eye. So he hits me here. I go back into the corner and my, coach is just telling me instructions, and I go over to the side to blow my nose, and I blow my nose and my eye just explodes like this. So now it closes. So I only can see on this side, which is the bad eye. So now he's panicking and he's trying to do his best to work the eye with the ant swell to get the swelling down. So I go into the ring and, you know, I can barely see. And when he first hit me with that shot, I remember everything was double vision, so I was seeing two of him, and everything was angled on the side like this. And I said to myself, man, this is it. This is my last fight. I will never be able to fight again, because I thought he finished my career. I think he just like made me blind. So I was furious at that point. So I said, I'm gonna knock this fucking guy out, because if I'm going, he's going down with me. Yeah. So now I get in the ring, and it's the fourth round, and I can barely see, so I'm still fighting. And now he complains again. I went inside to go in with a knee, and he complains again that I headbutted him. The referee stops, and he gives me a point off. So now not only can I not see, he gives me a point off, and this is in Mexico, this fight. So now I'm in audience of Mexican audience, and they're all making noise for him, and you have Mexican judges.
He was a Mexican opponent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have Mexican judges. And now I'm saying, there's no way I can win this fight unless I knock this guy out. So I keep pressing forward, and in the fifth round, I kick him to the head. He drops, he gets a standing 8 count, so now it's at least even, you know? So right after that, I go in there and I just go after him, and the referee steps in and he stops the fight, and then I became a champion.
How were you able to do that without seeing? I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. It was difficult, but you know, like I said, if you have that goal and you want something, you know, it was for a title, and not only that, but I like going to other fighters' countries, because then it's just more difficult, you know. And then after you win, it's such a great feeling that you went to that guy's country. You're not getting enough sleep because of jet lag, so you have that challenge against you. You have the challenge of his people. Then you have the judges who are still probably biased. As much as you can try to be fair, there's going to be some kind of a bias probably, you know? And so you have so many things against you, and then when you prevail, it's the greatest feeling. So I love any fight that has that, but I had to deal with 2 of those titles like that.
But then when you had the belt, it's like so, like you feel so proud, right?
Yeah, it's the best feeling.
It's the best feeling,
a great
because
feeling.
It was like a struggle, and you overcame that situation.
Right,
so
and then think about what that does for your confidence as well. Now your confidence raises even higher because you overcame so many difficulties. So, you know, I always tell people that they have to put themselves in difficult situations. Ever since I was probably a teenager, I was always trying to make my life as difficult as possible. And I don't know why, and I'm still doing that now. I don't know why, but I think it's just that I want to be prepared for the worst case scenario at all times, you know? If something happens, I'm going to be prepared, and I know mentally that I can prevail and get through the difficulties. So, you know, when I was going to Thailand for those first fights, I was taking fights, whatever they gave me. As scared as I was, you know, to take a fight on a day notice or 2 days notice, I don't care. I took it because I needed to prove to myself that, okay, you can do this, you know? And then you just believe in yourself. You go back to your training, think about what you did in training and turn it into excitement. And then, you know, that's how you prevail.
And how long did it took you like to recover from that, the bone?
Well, at that time, it's funny because I didn't even know that I had a broken orbital bone.
Okay.
I just found out, I think it was last year or it was 2 years ago actually. I went to the doctor, eye doctor, just to check my eyes because I haven't gone in so many years. So it popped into my mind and I said, you know what, let me ask him what he thinks, what happened to my eyes. So I told him and I described to him what happened when I blew my nose and he said, oh, you broke your orbital bone. So that's what happens when you, I guess the pressure comes out through here instead of through the nose when you blow it. And if there's like a break, then I guess the air comes out and it just blows up your eye. And he said that I was actually fortunate not to pop my eye out because there's fighters who have blown their nose and their eye pops out.
Oh my God!
So that's really bad.
Could happen.
Yeah. So that's not good. So I was fortunate that didn't happen. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Amazing. So you have over 60 professional fights, or how many?
Yeah, 76.
76.
Well, no, it's 20 amateur fights and then 56 professional.
Okay.
Yeah.
So of course, you have some fights that you felt. Which one was the fight that you felt like on the top of the world?
Yeah, that was the Omnoy fight.
The Omnoy fight then. Okay. Yeah. So that was on when was it? Sorry, the Omnoy.
2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
And why you felt on the top of the world?
Because my whole world and my life that revolved around that idea of becoming a champion in Thailand. And it was like for 10 years. And I was just so obsessed. I didn't give a shit about anything.
Okay.
And then finally you get to that point where you win that and then all that pressure, all the weight just leaves. You know, all the anxiety that you had, it was the greatest feeling that I've ever experienced in my life. And I wish that everybody can feel that feeling of achieving something that they've been looking for such a long time, and then finally you get to that point and you achieve it, and it's just it's a difficult feeling to explain. But with that went away my desire to continue fighting, you know, and I should have retired at that time when I quit, but you know, doing something like this becomes a routine.
Okay.
And an identity. So you don't know, it's not that you don't know what to do next, but it's just something that you're so used to doing. So you just say, okay, I'm going to continue fighting, and you still have these goals and saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to continue fighting for the Rouge title or the Thailand title. And that was all in line. You know, my promoter told me, okay, the next thing is going to be you win maybe like 1 or 2 more fights, then you can fight for the Thailand title. Then finally after that, you can challenge for the Rouge title. And that was all in my mind. But I remember coming back after the Omnoy title fight.
Okay.
And I remember coming back a week later, and I'm continuing training now, and I'm running, and it's the afternoon session, and I'm saying to myself, something's not right. I just don't have that hunger right now, you know, because I'm trying to tell myself, okay, the next fight is going to be important because you're going to have to defend the title, and then after that, maybe you take one more fight, and then you challenge for the Thailand title. And the way I felt thinking about that before I won the Omnoy title, I just couldn't wait to get all those goals, you know? But then after I won the Omnoy title, things were just so different. I remember running and I'm just thinking to myself, fuck, something's not right. This is not good, because I know already that I don't want it bad enough, and I'm lying to myself. So now I'm just doing it because it's a routine and because it's part of my identity. I've been doing it for the past, at that time, 17 years. So you're not used to doing anything else. So you just continue doing these things. And then finally, you know, this year in January, I decided, okay, no more. I can't.
Okay, this year.
I can't live like this anymore, you know?
Okay.
I don't want it bad enough. And you have, you know, these younger guys who are having that mentality that I used to have, you know, they'll do anything to get to that point, to challenge for a title. And in me, I'm just, okay, whatever, it's a fight. I don't have any fear. I don't have any anxiety before the fight. It's just not good.
No, it doesn't help you, right?
Right.
So your career is so unique, and as a fighter, you are unique because you have fought in the stadiums, the Thailand stadiums, most important stadiums in Thailand, like the Raja, The Omnoy, the Lumpini,
yeah.
and the
Channel 7, I never got to fight
I
there.
don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, these three are so important. So
Yeah.
it's like, and for foreigners, it's like something strange to happen.
Right.
I believe, right? So how was the environment different? I mean, which one you enjoyed the most? I mean, I understand that Omnoy was a really good experience because of the title, but then how do you feel the environment of fighting in Thailand and with all the betters and everybody shouting?
Yeah, it's a great feeling because it just brings so much excitement. And I think the best stadiums are Channel 7 and Omnoy because they're smaller and they pack a lot of people. So the noise is just incredible. But I never really the first time I fought in Rajman or a Lumpini Stadium, it was just I can do this on Mars. If you put me to Mars and I fight there, I don't care. I'll fight there. It's not about what stadium you're fighting. It's about who you're fighting against and where is it going to place you in the ranks so you can continue to your goals. So I didn't care about fighting in Lumpini Stadium or Rajman. It didn't really mean anything to me. It was just about who am I fighting? That's what has to have a meaning, and because that's what's going to give you the next opportunity, not what stadium you fought in.
Yeah, that's right. So how do you describe your style of being a fighter? How would you describe
I would say it's technical, and I mean, I was way more technical, I think, before. And then I turned into an aggressive fighter later on in my career when I went to PK Saenchai because, they like to have the foreigners be a little more aggressive fighters.
And then about training with Thais, so what of their style and mentality you adopted from them and make you your own style?
Yeah.
How did that change your style of fighting?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to adapt the entire game from them, and that's exactly what I did when I first started fighting, or started training Muay Thai at 18. I would go to this Thai grocery store that they had, and they had like a wall full of tapes, videotapes, VHS, and they had like soap operas and all these TV shows, and they had the Muay Thai fights. And some of those videotapes were from Omnoy. So I didn't even know. When I look back now at some of these videos that I have saved, it was from Omnoy Stadium, and I ended up fighting for the title over there, which is incredible. And that's exactly what my goal was when I was watching those fights. And so I saw how calm the fighters were, especially in those first couple of rounds, and they were using a lot of teeps. So, I just copy and pasted. I learned from those guys because the trainers that I had at that time, they had no fight experience. So they couldn't teach me the small, minute details of fighting because they've never experienced it themselves. So I had to find another way before I went to Thailand. So I was watching a lot of these videos and I would just copy. I would copy and paste, bring it into the gym, see how it works, adjust. That was it.
And do you, you have like your strongest part is like elbows or kicks or?
I would say kicks. I mean, I think all my weapons are equally strong, but I would say maybe kicks, yeah.
Kicks. Yeah, I have seen the high kicks you do.
Yeah.
Like, amazing. Yeah. And talking about high kicks, I want to talk about the fight you had in Lion Fight against the, the name is difficult to say. The fighter that you knocked out in the Lion Fight 9.
Yeah, Powdered.
Exactly. So that was, the video is not quality, but I saw that high kick on round 3. It was amazing to see. How did you feel in that moment?
Yeah, before then, obviously, I felt incredible. But before that fight, I fought another Thai who was the next champion, and he fought a Lumpini champion, and he fought against Saenchai, so he was an elite level fighter. And I fought him, and I didn't do good. I did okay, but obviously you can see the experience. He was like, throwing me around in the clinch, and I gave him too much respect. So I said after that, I'm not giving the next guy any respect. I'm gonna go in there and do what I did in the gym, and that's exactly what I did. I played that game plan perfectly. I was very focused in that fight.
Yeah, this was 2013 against Sachi Prapa, no, the name, okay?
Yep.
And then, of course, we need to talk about your epic fight against Saenchai in Hong Kong 2016, right? Wow, how did you feel like fighting against this legend? You just said that you show respect, but not in the ring, because you are fighters. You need to do your own things, right?
Yeah.
But how was that experience for you?
Yeah, that was an awesome experience. Yeah, like you were saying, I trained for the purpose of beating this guy, and I really thought that I had a chance to beat him, But you have to think that way. You cannot think like that you're not gonna have a chance. So I thought that I was gonna beat him, and but obviously, he's very slick and he's extremely explosive, and that was a great experience for me. I learned so much from that fight, and I just wish that I was able to fight him 5 rounds and multiple times as well, so I can just gain even more experience. Even though we sparred a lot of times after that fight at PK Saenchai, but and then later on he would teach me tricks and stuff like that. So
he's amazing. He still fights, right?
Yeah.
45 years old or
44, 45, something like that, yeah.
And he's still doing like fighting and doing all right. He has and training and everything.
Yep.
So what adjustments did you make in your fighting after this fight with Saenchai?
Well, first my confidence level went up even higher. I was always confident, but after that fight, I felt like, okay, now because I saw how explosive and fast he was, I was gonna copy that and do exactly that same speed pattern that he was doing, and that's exactly what I did in the next upcoming fights.
And the cartwheel kick that he did, that was illegal before. Now is it legal? I don't know.
No, I think it was legal then too. Yeah.
And now and then
it was always legal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have never seen that cartwheel.
Well, you're not gonna see it in Thailand because anything that's too risky in Thailand, the number one, the gamblers don't want you to do, because then if you slip and you make a mistake, now automatically your price is gonna go down. So now the odds are gonna shift. So they don't want you doing anything that's too risky. They want you to stick to the plan and keep everything as basic and simple as possible. And that's the beauty of Muay Thai. That's what helped turn Muay Thai into what it is.
Wow, amazing. So you have to learn how they score, right? Because it's different.
It's completely different,
right?
Yeah, very different.
From here to Thailand, and the game, how to play the game, right?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about your debut in one championship. Yeah, that was a good May 12, 2018.
Yeah.
Right, against Stergos Mikios, a Greek opponent.
Yeah.
This was under kickboxing rules, I understand, or no? Because I saw the gloves.
It was Muay Thai, but they haven't started the small gloves yet.
That's why.
Yeah,
okay.
They started it the next year, because 2018 was the first year that they started doing the Muay Thai. So I was one of the first fighters to be called in the one championship. It was me, Yotsen Kalai, and maybe like a couple of other fighters. And so we all started fighting around that time, yeah.
Was that experience different from like fighting in Lumpini and the other stadiums, or it was?
It was just different because of the cage.
Okay.
Yeah, the cage is a completely different fight, because you cannot close your opponent off, because they can just run around the ring.
Yeah, right.
But the cage. But in a ring, if you close them off into that 90-degree angle, then they can't really escape. So that was difficult to deal with.
How long did you train for that fight? Like to adjust this?
That I don't remember. I mean, it was just regular, the way I always trained, for every fight.
Normally you train how long? 3, 4 months?
In America, it would be like about a month, because I was always training in shape. So then you need maybe just, I think it was about 2 weeks. Yeah, so maybe a month when you get the phone call, who you're fighting against. So then you start doing some drills, things like that. And then 2 weeks is about when I start really going hard, training hard and hitting the doing more rounds and more intensity.
Okay. Wow. But then it was like a really fast-paced battle. You were like, both of you, and then of course your technical abilities were like there, in that fight. It was great to see. So also, hold on. I wanted to know how you see Muay Thai now. I mean, the new generations of fighters now. Do you think that in these 10 years, in this decade, the Muay Thai has changed?
Yeah, definitely.
In what ways?
Well, first it started with the 3-round fights. So we called out those like show fights in Thailand. And that started, I think, like maybe around 2013, 2014 with Max Muay Thai.
Okay.
And then that continued on to different shows. And then some of the other shows, they had smaller gloves. I forgot the name of that fight show, but it was also in Thailand, and it was 3 rounds. And then finally that came into one championship around 2018, 2019, and then small gloves. So yeah, things are changing. Anytime you make an adjustment like that, changing glove sizes, it's gonna change the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in terms of the mentality of the fighters, because now I see they start like fighting like in RWS or all those, like really young, at 18, 20.
Yeah.
Is there something that they have, in your opinion, that they have different in the mindset now, the new generations?
No, nothing's gonna be different. Human nature is gonna be human nature.
Okay.
Well, regardless if it's 2,000 years ago or today.
Okay.
What I think changed is I think the fact that they can see that Muay Thai is a lot bigger now. There's a bigger audience, and you can make a bigger name for yourself, and then finally you can make a lot more money. So I think people are just starting to fight at a younger age, and like Thai fighters from Thailand are coming into a lot of these gyms and just wanting to make as much money as they can.
Yeah, but then you need to you need to choose a really good, like a gym, because not all the gyms will accept you if you're not an elite fighter.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
understand, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you need to go to the one that you will grow.
Right.
Okay. So describe the qualities of a high IQ fighter and what separates them from the average fighters?
I think to simplify it is just not going in there and, like I was saying in beginning, turning into a war when you don't need to.
Okay.
If let's say my style is a puncher, and I'm known for knocking people out, and if my opponent is also a puncher and he's known for knocking people out, then why am I gonna be playing into that game and just punching with him when he has a chance of knocking me out as well? Yeah, I have a chance of knocking him out as well, but I'm just not gonna go down that route. So now I'm gonna say, all right, you know what? I know I can punch good, but this is not the time to try to take high risks.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna use my intelligence and maybe keep him away with teeps first and frustrate him. Then maybe open up, create these openings for a knockout punch. So it's just, again, it's a different way of thinking. Try not to involve your ego when you don't have to, and try not to involve your emotions. I've done that in fights before when I was trying to continuously do something like a technique and it didn't work, and then you look foolish to the judges and gamblers.
Okay. Yeah, you need to look like you are like dominating, right?
Right.
So for them to give you the score,
Exactly.
right? Okay. So what's the biggest lesson Muay Thai has taught you outside of the gym, in your personal life?
I mean, I don't think I've learned any lessons from Muay Thai because without the personality and my mentality, I wouldn't be able to do this sport.
Okay.
So I'm the one that was doing the work. Muay Thai didn't need to teach me that,
Okay.
So I don't know the confidence I had since I was a young kid. I always had that confidence. I always liked taking risks.
Wow.
So I already had that. So I really don't know what Muay Thai has taught me, because besides obviously, how to fight. But yeah, like the mental aspect, I already had all that stuff.
Wow, amazing to hear that. So let's talk about your seminars and the private lessons you give, right? So you give all these seminars all around the world, right? So what do you enjoy the most about teaching these fighters?
I love when people tell me that my seminar was one of the best that they had.
Okay.
Because then I know what I'm teaching them works, and I know that I'm now a good coach and I'm teaching them the correct way. And I'm able to simplify things where I had people who've just done this for a couple of months, and they were able to do a very high level timing drills that I was teaching at 6 months. So now, imagine how much that's gonna help them out when they spar, or even if they wanna go and fight.
Okay.
They can take that from that early early stage and do something that's extremely high level and do it in a fight that's, you know, that you have one fight.
And normally, how long does this seminar last?
2 hours.
It's 2 hours, but in 2 hours, yeah, you know perfectly how to teach them. And how many fighters are there in
Well, it
the
depends.
seminar?
Sometimes it's not just fighters. It's also, you know, people who just want to
Okay.
learn a new skill, you know, learn something new or learn some new combinations, or they just want to challenge themselves a little more when they're in regular class. So it's not only fighters.
Okay. And then, yeah, my question was, how do you know this seminar has been truly successful? Because they, you just mentioned it, right?
Yeah. Well, usually people would come to me afterwards, and they would all tell me what they thought, and, you know, sometimes I would ask them what they thought, and then the coaches would also tell me, oh, everybody's telling me that they had a great time, and so I know through that.
That's the way you, okay. So do you also cover the mental side in your seminars, or just technical?
I do. Yeah, sometimes at the end of the seminars, I talk to them about fear and anxiety and pressure and doubt and things like that, and those are all seen as negative emotions. But to me, again, if you just turn it and look at it from a different perspective, to me, they're all very positive emotions. You know, you can use those in a positive way and they will help you.
Yeah, I agree. Wow, amazing. So, through your teaching, what legacy do you hope to leave on fighters?
You know, I never really cared about that stuff.
Okay.
Because I feel like I started the sport because of me.
Yes.
Not because of leaving a legacy, you know?
Okay.
So, and that's how I'm gonna leave the sport. I hope that I can be a positive influence for at least my nieces and, you know, people who are close to me. But to be honest with you, I don't care. If anybody chooses to follow me or doesn't follow me, I did this for myself. I didn't do it for money. I knew what I was getting myself into, and that's it. I don't care about having a legacy.
Okay, okay. So you have nieces?
Yeah.
They don't practice martial arts?
No. And it's my fault. No, it's my fault.
Because you say
because I don't push them. I don't push them to train. But I keep telling myself I have to just start training them because I want them to learn just the basics, to be able to defend themselves on the street. But it's my fault. I haven't been training them.
And also they can know like all the strength they have within, right? Like doing.
Yeah.
That helps you.
Yeah, and gain that confidence. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yep. It helps a lot. So, what are the hardest challenges you have faced as a fighter, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Oh man, there's so many. I mean, stuff like, you know, working a job and then going to school full time, and then having to fight. And even as an amateur, I was still considering myself a professional because I was training every day. Even after I would lose a fight, I would go back to the gym the next day because maybe I wasn't happy the way I performed. And it was right away I had to fix these mistakes.
Okay.
So it was such a hard time. I mean, just thinking about that, those were some of my most difficult times. But yeah, of course, there was a fight where I got TKO'd. That was my first and last time of getting TKO'd, and that was in one championship. And with the one championship fights, that was my mistake, but it was my arrogance, you know, because everybody was telling me don't fight in this weight class because it was 145, and I was fighting. Yeah, I was fighting at
always.
Yeah, I was fighting at 135 or 130.
Okay.
So I was going up 2-3 classes, you know, and all those guys are much heavier, dropping down. So for the one championship fights, I was walking around. You know, the fights would be at 145.8 pounds, and I was walking around at like 147. So I was already below. You know, having to deal with that TKO loss, I had to just get in there and come back and win the next fight, despite all the other challenges that I had to prove to myself, okay, you can still do this. So it was never, those losses never really affected me mentally. It was just, okay, it's a new page. I have to fix what I need to fix, and that's it. I just looked at it from a logical standpoint. Okay, you made this mistake, go and fix it. Simple as that. And don't recreate that problem in the fight.
I agree. Okay, wow, amazing the way you think, like, so just...
Yeah, it's just not involving yourself emotionally.
Yeah.
I would let myself, yeah, of course. If I lost a fight, I would say, okay, go what you need to do for that first day, 2 days, and after that, you gotta get back in the gym and start working.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't
Amazing.
spend too much time thinking about what happened.
So besides the bone, orbital bone that you broke, is
Yeah.
there any other major injury that you had during your career?
Yeah, I did. I had a broken rib from one of the fights. I broke my this
Okay.
bone here. There was this bone that I broke.
Okay.
My shin, I split my shin here 3
Okay.
times. You can see this bump.
Yes, okay.
So yeah, I had quite a few.
Which one was the
injuries.
most painful?
Well, the eye was definitely painful. I felt my whole face was gonna fall apart when he hit me. It was that, and then this. This was extremely painful. In fact, I still feel it now every once in a while. It doesn't feel natural.
Can you
I can,
close
yeah. It doesn't
the-
hurt like that, but every once in a while, if I like punch something,
Okay.
sometimes I can feel it. Or maybe if it's during like the winter when it's cold, I can kind of feel a little bit of pain in there.
But still, I mean, you haven't had like terrible.
Yeah, nothing with the
Major-
knees.
exactly.
Yeah, nothing with the knees. No broken no broken forearms or anything like that. So yeah.
So you did.
I was
that's-
always careful because again, my whole life revolved around Muay Thai. So if somebody asked me, "Hey, let's go to ride bikes or bicycles, or let's go run in the woods, trail running," I said no way, because if I step on a rock the wrong way and I break my ankle, now I can't fight.
Yeah,
So
right.
everything again revolved around Muay Thai.
Yeah, that's right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So is there? Of course, you have achieved so many goals in your life. Are you still? What is something that you are still striving for, that you want to achieve?
Now it's just a financial success, you know,
Okay.
because to me, having doing Muay Thai was like having a kid, you know, and that took away a lot of time for me. And I wasn't able to make the money that I wanted to make. So now that I think I'm finally finished with actually fighting, now I want to be successful in that way.
Okay, yeah, I agree. And then I forgot to ask you, how did you, after a fight, maybe this one in Omnoi, how did you celebrate that moment? Did you went to party or what?
No.
How was the celebration?
I did my regular daily routine. I went to a
Yeah,
coffee shop.
Okay.
I went on my computer, watched some videos, and that's it.
You normally watch videos of the opponents that you are going to fight against?
Yeah, if I get an opportunity to have the video, in Thailand you're not going to get the opportunity always. And not only
Okay.
that, but fights will change like this sometimes. Sometimes they'll change the same day. Sometimes they'll change a couple of days
Really?
before.
Didn't
Yeah,
know
it's
that. Okay.
it's a headache over there. Nothing is
Okay.
set in stone until the bell rings and you're fighting. Even before the bell rings, there's an opportunity for the fight not to go on. Yeah.
You didn't know about it. That
Yeah,
happened
there's-
to you?
No, it didn't happen to me, but there's always something that can happen. I realized that in Thailand that
Unpredictable.
anything can happen. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, okay, amazing. If you had to describe your journey so far in a sentence, how would it be?
Challenging.
Challenge.
Yeah, but I'm so happy that it was a difficult road. I'm so happy because it just wouldn't be as interesting, you know, and through that, you know what you can go through, and you can go through beyond even worse times.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that it was very challenging.
And now, what does your parents tell you about, like, your career? Like after
They're very proud, you know, and I tell them that maybe I would have been even better if you just let me go to Thailand the first time I started Muay Thai, you know, or if you just didn't care about me fighting.
Yeah.
But you know, my father says I didn't know any better. What do you want me to do? My son is going in there and fighting in the ring, you know. So, and like I said, I understand that. And again, I'm so happy that it was like that, because I'm happy that it was difficult. Like
Yeah.
I was saying, I was always trying to make my life as difficult as possible to prepare myself for the worst case scenario, and I guess that was it.
Yeah. Wow. And your hobbies? Do you have any other hobbies? Any other hidden talent that we don't know about
Yeah,
you?
I like to draw.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at drawing. I wouldn't consider myself an artist, I think it would be disrespectful to actual artists. I just like to, every once in a while, draw something.
Like a sketch? Like
yeah, sketching, yes. Painting, even though I haven't painted in over 10 years.
But what do you like to paint? Like
mainly humans.
Humans.
Because
It's
that
difficult.
was the most difficult, yeah.
It's difficult.
That was the most difficult, so I like that challenge.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent. And any other food that you like, that you enjoy?
Food?
So food, eh? What is your favorite
Steak.
food? Steak.
Steak,
Okay.
pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah,
What type
from
of
Italy.
pizza?
Napoli.
Okay.
Yeah, Napoli style.
I saw the other day a post that you were just eating like candies and
Yeah.
you do
Dessert.
that often? Like your
Yeah, I
dessert?
do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you like desserts and sweets?
Yeah.
You always like
Yeah,
that.
I'm very big on that.
Perfect. Almost done. So for young fighters that they are starting out, what is the most important message that you could give them?
I would say to be focused on their goal. If they truly want to be, become champions and do something in the career, then they have to be focused and they can't have any distractions. If they do have any distractions, then just know that you have to be able to control that. Like I was saying, if you have a girlfriend and she wants to hang out or spend more time, that's a distraction from your goal. So just know that she has to be second. She cannot be first. And if it gets too difficult, you gotta let her go, or a job. You have to be able to say, okay, I can't do this job anymore. It's becoming a distraction, just like it was a distraction in my career. I had to let it go. As much as I liked it, as much as my bosses were excellent to me, I can do two things. You have to choose one thing and pursue that and be great at that one thing.
Yeah, that's right. So for people that want to follow you, of course, you have a lot of followers, but still your Instagram account, can you share that for us, please?
Yeah, it's @TopicFight, and that's across all of social media.
Okay.
And they can check out my website, topicfight.com.
Okay.
I have my courses online over there. I broke it all down into timing, fakes, feints, and then, the timing, and then I have my videos of different techniques.
Wow, yeah, I would love to see those too.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Thank you so much, Ognjen.
Of course.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good, that's good.
For your time and for sharing your story. It's like an amazing story and inspiring. So I know that many people that will see this video will be inspired by your journey. So you are an example and an inspiration and a legend. So I am really...
Well, I'm not a legend. I don't think I'm a legend.
You are, because you did so many things. So you should be proud of yourself because of all the achievements you have done.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you to MK Muay Thai for the space for doing this conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.